Hello, everyone. I'm Carolyn Urena, CEO and co-founder of Sisu Global Health, and we're the medical device company for emerging markets. 80% of the world's medical devices are designed for 10% of the world's population. This is an opportunity I saw before becoming the CEO and co-founder of Sisu Global Health. I had founded a nonprofit working with rural mobile clinics in India, and what I saw was that large medical device companies were trying to tap into the growing middle class and the growing expectations for higher quality healthcare. But how they were doing so was by taking their US, European equipment, pairing off features, making it cheaper, and trying to sell that to the growing middle class, and it wasn't working. And that's because it's not just about the cost of the equipment, it's about the fit of the products for the local market in terms of where money is being spent, what are the local needs, and what are the local infrastructure. So 4 years ago, I founded Sisu Global Health, design and commercialize medical devices in Africa for Africa. And the challenge that we're starting with and addressing first is access to blood. Across the globe, when a doctor reaches for a blood bag, it often isn't there. So when a patient comes in with trauma and internal bleeding, what can that doctor do? Well, one option, often the only option, is to salvage and recycle that patient's own blood through a process called autotransfusion. So at Sisu Global Health, we created a simple mechanical solution to be able to capture that blood that's pooled internally and salvage and recycle that blood. This here is the device. Simply with a pull and push of the handle, you can transfer blood from where it's pooled internally directly to a blood bag to be retransfused. And you can see the process here. Our device can salvage multiple units of blood during each surgery, and after each use, the filter is disposed of, and the device is sterilized in between uses. And there's 20 million cases across Africa that are viable for this process each year. If you look at the other alternatives, they range from donor blood, which is often unavailable, to the US equipment, which doesn't reach emerging markets due to not only high cost, but also training and power requirements, and leaving the doctors with really a decision to postpone the surgery, not perform it at all, or use manual techniques that are often dangerous for both the patient and the clinician. And how we're tapping into this growing opportunity is we're a for-profit business. We sell our device in a packet of one device and 25 filters and 25 accessories to a wholesale distributor. The wholesale distributors, of which we have signed our first contracts, which I'll tell you about later, sells to the hospital. The hospital further marks up the products and sells in a per surgery cost to the patient. Now, keeping that patient in mind, we are predominantly focused on the middle class and ensuring that our product is affordable within the existing system. The cost of our device per use equals the cost of processing 2 units of donor blood. And in terms of the market for our product, we have a 494 million serviceable addressable market based on the surgeries that are currently being performed right now in our 3 target regions in Africa, as well as after moving the percent population in poverty, as we are focused on the middle class. And this opportunity increases as you consider across emerging markets or other applications like US military, veterinary, and other instances. However, our focus is in sub-Saharan Africa. And we've come a long way. With just $1.5 million, we've taken this product from an idea through a manufactured device, validation testing, a clinical study in Ethiopia, and regulatory approval in not just one country, but 2 countries on opposite coasts of the continent, including here in Kenya. We also submitted to the US FDA. And we've had progress on not only this first product in our portfolio, we are a medical device platform to develop medical devices for sub-Saharan Africa. And our secondary product, which is a centrifuge that can operate with or without electricity, also had a patent issued last December. And we have 3 other portfolio devices at earlier stages of development. And over the next 5 years, we expect to have $55 million in revenue and to impact 18 million lives with just the first 2 products in our portfolio, with just a focus on 3 regions in Africa. And we've done this with a very talented, very tenacious team. I myself have run companies in the US and India, And while getting my chemical engineering degree at the University of Michigan, was named Entrepreneur of the Year for my first company. Jillian, our Chief Technology Officer, previously founded a medical device design firm for Ghana, and also is the primary inventor of Hemofuse. Katie, our Chief Marketing Officer, has a background in public-private partnerships across Africa, including a Fulbright in Rwanda. And Saju, our Chief Operating Officer, has a background in medical devices and emerging markets with over 20 years of senior management experience. We've also had some really great partnerships to date, ranging from grant funding from Saving Lives at Birth USA, including USAID and the Gates Foundation, to investors including Johns Hopkins University and some of the premier investors in medical device venture capital in the United States. And we've had quite a few awards and features as well, including winning the First Mile Innovation Challenge from GE, where we were chosen out of 80 companies around the globe. And in terms of our company, right now we're seeking $1.2 million to launch Hemofuse in both Ghana and Kenya, and also to establish our scaling systems, including ISO 13485 certification, while being supported by a $500,000 grant from Saving Lives at Birth to scale and implement our product in additional countries. And I'm excited here today to announce some of our first sales partnerships. We are launching on the platform called Via Global Health, which is an online website to be able to have a global reach for our product for any country that accepts our regulatory approvals. And this morning, I'm excited to announce that MetaQuip will be joining our team, and so our distributor is in the back of the room, and that we will be entering the Kenyan market shortly. Thank you. And so for Sisu Global Health, we're not just building a product, we're building a platform for medical devices into emerging markets and really changing the landscape and changing that statistic that 80% of the world's medical devices are designed for 10% of the world's population. Because at Sisu Global Health, we're not only a great opportunity for investment, we're an opportunity to enable doctors to save millions of lives. Thank you.